right, hello everyone. How is everyone today? Hopefully you are having a wonderful day. Hopefully you are having some beautiful weather outside. Hopefully you are ready to do some fun nails today. And I am going to pull my chat up here and see what you guys have to chat about. And then we will go ahead and get started. Oh, look at all those familiar names in the chat. Hello, everyone. Lovely, lovely to see you guys all here today. Thank you for joining us. Love that you are all returning. Or if you are new, welcome in. Thank you for joining us today. So today we are going to be doing, by popular demand, you guys have been asking to see how I've done my own nails. So today that is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do this design and how I created my own nails. Now you guys don't judge me. You know my nails are all grown out at this point, so they've been on for probably about 2 weeks now, I think. So I am definitely needing a fill, but I'm going to show you guys how I did create this on myself. Well, we're going to be working on the trainer hand, but I'm going to show you the design that I did on myself here. So before we get started, we are going to shorten up our nail on our trainer hand here. Let me come in nice and close. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and shorten this nail up. Anytime I'm sculpting a nail, which is what I've done on my nails, but anytime I sculpt a nail, I always like to shorten up that natural nail. Take that free edge down quite a bit. So this way, when I do go to put my forms on, it's not going to, that natural nail is not going to interfere with my form application. And then we'll just give it a quick shaping here. You guys, you don't have to worry about that nail being a perfect shape. It's going to be under, or you're going to be sculpting that natural, oh my goodness, you guys, you're going to be sculpting the gel on that natural nail. So you don't have to worry about it being completely perfect. Just smooth out that free edge and kind of shape it up a little bit there. Now let's go ahead and do our prep. And I'm going to be working with our magic wand, and this is actually a really great multi-use tool. So on one end it's got that cuticle pusher side, and then it also has that little edge that if you need to get up into that cuticle area or along those sidewalls, you can clean up under there. You can also use that edge for cleaning out underneath that natural nail. Now on the other end of it is a different tool. This is for pinching in your C-curve, which we're probably not really going to be doing when we're working with our gel today, but this works great for pinching in a C-curve on your acrylics. So we'll show you that in another lesson, another class. But you guys, speaking of classes, I have a question for you guys, and you got to let me know this in the chat. How many of you know that we do Zoom classes? How many of you know that we offer those classes? Let me know in the chat if you know that, or if you've taken any of those classes. Let me know that, because I would love to know. And you guys, the reason that I'm asking is because we actually do have a class coming up on the 4th, on August 4th. So if you are interested in that, our moderators will probably get a link in the chat here. But we do have classes. They are available to anyone, so you don't have to have a license. You don't have to be a professional nail tech. Anybody can take the classes. Oh my goodness, you guys, so many people did not know that we offer our classes. Okay, you guys, make sure to check out our website. If our moderators don't get that link in the chat here for you, but check out our website, youngnails.com, click on the education link, and that's where you will find information about our classes. And it is a Zoom class, so anybody can take it wherever you are. If you have access to the internet and you have access to Zoom, which you guys all apparently have access to the internet, anybody can take this class. So make sure to check that out on our website as well. Now, what I've done is just gone through, used my medium sanding band and prepped that natural nail nice and easily. And again, you guys, these kind of steps are what you will learn in that class on the 4th as well. So make sure to check that out if you're interested in classes. Okay, once we remove the shine from the nail, I'm going to grab my manicure brush. We're going to dust off this nail, clean that off really well, get as much of that dust off of there as possible. And then we're going to grab our swipe. Now, let me bring the camera out. So Swipe is our cleanser, and this is what we're going to use on the nail. I'm actually going to pump a little bit of that onto my manicure brush, and this is what we're going to use to cleanse that nail. This is going to remove any of that last little tiny bits and pieces of dust that may be on there. You can clean out underneath the nail as well, but this is also going to help to remove any germs, any bacteria, and any of the rest of those surface oils that might be still on the nail after we have removed the shine. Now, another reason that we do go through with that electric file and remove the shine is because we are going to be working with gel today. So we're going to be using our Synergy gels. We've got a couple of the gels in the tubes. I've also got our base gel in the pot. Gel does not like to stick to a smooth or a shiny surface. So that's why we do need to go through and remove that shine from that natural nail. So a couple of different things. We're breaking up those surface oils and also removing that shine from the surface. So this way we're going to have a nice clean surface to adhere our gel to. All right, next thing we're going to use is Protein Bond. Protein Bond is our bonder. This is going to work kind of like a double-sided tape. So if you think about it like a double-sided tape or an anchor, this is what is going to really keep our product adhered super, super well to that nail. So I'm going to take a little bit of our Protein Bond. We're going to brush that onto the nail. And I start from the center and then I work out towards the sides and then back towards the cuticle. This way I don't flood that product into the cuticle area or get that product on the skin. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're keeping your product away from that cuticle and away from the skin, because with any product, with any chemical, you want to make sure that you're not coming in contact with that skin so that everything stays nice and safe and nice and healthy. Okay? And notice I do apply 2 coats of the Protein Bond. When I'm working with my enhancements, whether it's acrylics, hard gels, or with our full cover tips, I always like to work with 2 coats of that Protein Bond. So that way I know I've got a really good coverage of my Protein Bond on the nail, and I know everything is going to adhere really well. Now, because we're sculpting, we're going to take one of our forms today. I'm going to just flatten that out a little bit. I'm going to peel that off of the backing. And notice that I leave that little tab in the center. I don't throw that away, okay? I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick that right on the back of my form. This way my form is going to feel a little bit stronger. It's going to feel a little bit more durable. And then we'll take that form, these 2 little tabs on the sides, those 2 little silver areas, we're going to pinch those together. Get those together as close and even together as you can get them. And then we'll take a look from this edge. Because we're going to be doing more of a kind of an almond shape today, maybe a medium, I'm going to say a medium almond shape today, we're going to actually pinch the end of that form closed, okay? When you're creating a straight square nail, you would leave that end open, but because we're creating more of that almond shape, I'm going to pinch that end closed so that we can create more of that almond shape and still keep the nice C curve and keep that structure to that nail that we're sculpting, okay? I'm going to open up that little perforation right at the top there, and then we'll get our form on. Now I'm going to show you guys this from the side view. So when I put my form on, I'm not just going to shove that straight up underneath there. A lot of times what happens if you just shove your form straight underneath that nail, a lot of times you're going to push that right down into that hyponychium. Okay, that hyponychium is that skin right underneath that natural nail. It's a little bit more delicate. And so you want to make sure that you're not just shoving that form up in there, because that could be uncomfortable for either yourself or your client, whoever you're looking or whoever you're working on. So what we want to do instead is you want to start at a slight downward angle. We're going to catch that form right up underneath that free edge, and then we're going to just lift up at the end until that form comes out nice and straight. And you can actually use, do you see how that light, let me readjust this here so you guys can see that light reflection. Oh, where did it go? There we go. Okay, so you see how that light reflects right through here? Use that as your guide, okay? Use that as your guide to show how straight the nail is. And is it Nikki Nails? Nikkei Nails? Thank you so much. We appreciate you very much. I did see your contribution there, so thank you, much appreciated. But again, you guys, make sure to take our classes, okay? You can spend your money on classes and you will learn so much in our classes as well. So again, check out our website for that information on our classes. Okay, so let me come back to this and I'm going to show you how to actually put that form on from that front view. I just wanted to make sure you understood how I was actually getting that form up underneath there. Okay, so again, we're going to start at a slight downward angle, catch that free edge, lift up on the end until that form comes out nice and straight. Oops, nice and straight from that natural nail, and then you can secure that down on the sides. Okay. Now, if we take a look at this form again from that side view, we want to look at that light reflection, and that's going to show you that my form is coming nice and straight out. Now, I know it looks like the form itself is slightly angled down, but when you look at that light reflection, that's how you're going to know that your form is straight coming out from that nail, okay? Now, because we're going to be creating a little bit shorter of a nail, we're not going to be creating a super long stiletto here. I'm going to take that form and I'm actually going to pinch that form. So by pinching that form, it's going to keep our C curve nice and tight all the way through. And we're going to be able to keep that C curve right at the end of our nail nice and tight, just like on the other nails we have done here. Okay, so pinch that just a little bit shorter. Again, looking from that side view, our form is still nice and straight out from that nail. And we are going to get started on our application. Somebody's saying the forms never stick on human hands. You guys, these forms, you have to make sure, first of all, that you've prepped the nails. So make sure that you've gone through and you've prepped the nails. I'm going to clean off just so you guys can see that these forms really do stick very well to a real finger. So once you've cleansed that nail with the swipe, that finger should be nice and clean and dry. Now, if you have any oils or dust on your finger, then that form won't stick on there, but that finger should be nice and dry. So I'll show you guys here real quick. Just to put a form on myself, you will see that they do stick really well. Now, I'm not sure if you're using a different brand of form because some forms don't adhere as well as others. But you guys, here, I'll even open this up. Open that top part up. There we go. So that is stuck on there. Let me come back out here. Even if I shake my hand, that form is not moving. I've even kind of bumped it on the table a couple of times. That form didn't move. Okay, so these forms are really amazing. They do stick really well to the skin, to the finger, so they will not pop off. Now, if you do have extra oils and things on your skin, that could be keeping it from sticking. But also, one other thing to note, when you guys, you even saw, I had to really peel that off. When you are putting forms on, another thing that might be keeping your form from sticking is if you're touching that form a lot. So if you're touching that and you're holding that on the sides, you can kind of see how it's sticking to my skin, but every time I touch that form, I'm getting a little bit of the oils from my skin on that form. So if you're doing a lot of this with your forms before you actually put those on, by the time you pinch those together and then you get that on the finger, some of that stickiness will have worn off. But again, you guys, this is still, even with all of that, it's still nice and sticky. It still didn't move. So you just kind of have to, you know, maybe it was, you said the forms you used were bad. It could have been whatever forms you were using. So I can only tell you about Young Nails forms. I think they are absolutely the best in the business, and that's what I'm using here. And you guys, everything that I'm using here is Young Nails. So make sure, check out our website. Again, check out our class on August 4th. We've got that listed on our website as well. All right, who is ready for some gel application? Let me know in the chat. Give me a little thumbs up in the chat or wave and say hi if you are ready for our gel application. Let me know. All right, I'm ready. So what I'm going to start with is our clear sculptor. And this is our clear sculptor in the precision tube. And it looks like you guys are ready for application here. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so the clear sculptor in the tube is a little bit of a thicker gel. Now we do have a clear sculptor in the pot like this one, but that one is extremely thick. And I personally like to use the clear sculptor in the tube because it's just a little bit self-leveling, but not too self-leveling. Now, I always like to have a couple of things handy when I am working with gels. I like to have just the little art palette here, or if you have your ceramic tile, you can use that. But I like to use a little art palette here so that I have something to wipe my brush on. Now, when we're working with gels, gel is not like acrylic where you have to wipe your brush on a table towel or clean it out in between. But I do like to have that, just that little ceramic tile so that I can keep my brush clean as I work. All right, we are going to use our clear sculptor, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this out of the tube, so just right at that free edge. So just right at the free edge, just a little tiny pearl there, and then I'm going to stop squeezing. I'm going to use the nozzle to move that from one side of the nail to the other, getting that product connecting to my natural nail free edge all the way up into that corner. Now, depending on how long you need the nail, you may need to squeeze out a little bit more product, or you can just work with what you've got, and you can use that nozzle again to just kind of start to flow that product down the length of your form. Now, I do like to use a combination of that applicator nozzle, and then I also like to use my brush a little bit. And the brush that I'm using, this one is our, I don't know if you guys can see that, our Pro Gel Sculptor. And this one, it actually comes in two pieces. Let me show you this real quick. So this one comes in two pieces, so you can use that handle for a cover, or you can use it for the handle. So it just works really nice and easily. And I'm going to use my brush. I'm going to make sure that my product is nice and thin and fairly tapered off at the end. I don't want my product too thick because right now all we're trying to do is create a platform. So if we take a look at that from the side, you can see there's not a lot of thickness here. I'm just basically building out a platform that I can create the rest of my nail on. Okay, I'm going to use the edge of my brush and I'm going to just swipe all the way back, straight back, so that I'm bringing product all the way back into that edge. Clean out my brush, wipe out my brush. Now I want to show you guys something. If you need to bring product back up into the corner, you're going to wipe the brush backwards. If you need to pull product away from that area, then you're going to pull forwards. So whatever direction you need to bring product, that's the way that you're going to drag your brush. So again, I'm touching my brush onto the form, bringing that product right back into that corner. Clean out my brush. If I needed to bring product away from that corner, I could pull towards myself. Okay, so again, just depends on where you need to bring product is how you are going to pull that brush. All right, we are going to pop this into our light really quick. We're going to freeze this into place, and I'm just going to put that in the light for about 30 seconds. Whoops, I actually have to turn on my light. So in the meantime, I'm going to grab my base gel. Now base is a little bit of a thinner gel, so you're going to be able to see this is a fairly thin viscosity of fairly self-leveling. Now this one we are not going to use to build up structure. We're going to use this one for adhesion. Now I know we already had our protein bond on the nail, but this product that I have right now is a gel, and we want this gel to bond to the natural nail. And this base specifically has more resins to it, so it will bond better to the natural nail than the clear sculptor in the tube. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the gel. I'm going to scoop up just a little bit, tap off that edge, and I'm going to use some pressure with my brush. So with this gel, I'm going to show you from the side. I'm going to press that brush down onto the nail and just put some pressure, blend that product all the way down the length of that nail. Okay, I tend to start just a little ways away from that cuticle and work back towards it, because just like we were talking about earlier with that protein bond, we want to make sure that we're keeping our product off the skin. We are not getting that product on the skin. We are not going to overexpose our client to any product. Okay, now somebody's asking, what is this gel called again? The one that I'm using right now is our Synergy Base Gel. And then the other gel that I use to build out the extension is our Synergy Clear Sculptor. So these are all hard gels. And I'm going to take a little bit of that gel that I've got on my brush. You can kind of see there's a little bit left on my brush. I'm actually just going to touch that right through that free edge. So right where that product or that natural nail meets up with the extension, just to encase that natural nail and really secure my free edge on there. Okay, once we've done that, that's going to go back into the light one more time. I'm going to just put the cap on there for another little bit longer there. And our nail is going to cure in the light for another 30 seconds. And in those 30 seconds, I'm going to show you guys the colors that we're going to be using. And again, this is the design that we're doing. So the design that I've got on my nails is what we're going to be creating on our extension here. So the colors I used were Cactus Pucker and Me Unicorn and Freelance Snack. Now you guys, these colors are all a traditional air dry polish. And I say traditional, it's not like your old, your old school nail polish. I say traditional because it's an air dry polish. But these polishes are, you guys check them out on our website again, but so many amazing things about these colors. They are absolutely gorgeous. They are super high pigment. They dry really fast. They are 16 free. So if you're concerned about all of those chemicals that might be harsh or hard on your nails or your skin and things like that, these polishes do not have those chemicals in them. So great product. We just launched them, so they are super new, but I am absolutely loving them. So we're going to take our form off, and I'm going to grab a straight edge toenail clipper. Now you guys, as I was sculpting out that nail, a little bit of my product didn't get perfectly straight, and I've got a little bit of that hanging off the end. I'm going to use either a straight edge toenail clipper, or actually I think I'm going to grab my nipper. I have an older nipper that I like to use for this. I'm going to use that straight edge, and I'm going to just clip off any of that product that might be hanging off the edges. And this is going to help to speed up your filing time at the end. So if you take off that extra product, you're not going to have to file that off. So just clipping off what I need to. I'm going to take a look at this. So this one, the nail that we sculpted out definitely looks like a little bit longer than what I want the rest of my set. So I am going to clip this shorter. Now you guys, when you're clipping this shorter, you want to make sure that you're not just clipping flat through that C curve. So you guys, if you take a look from the end, this nail has a curve, and if we come in and we just clip it flat like this, what's going to happen is it's going to take, let me show you this. So it's going to take that curve, and if we clip that flat, it's actually going to bend that curve, and it's probably going to crack it right down the middle. So you may end up with a crack right down the center here. So you have to make sure if you are clipping off that edge, you're not coming in straight across like this. You're following the curve of that nail. So coming from underneath here, clip that side, and then we can clip this side here. So just taking off that little bit, so again, we don't have to shorten this up too much when we're filing. So it's just another quick, easy way to speed up your time a little bit. Now, our gel is cured out. Okay, this did cure for a full 60 seconds. So when it is cured out, it has a tacky surface, and the reason it has a tacky surface is because gel likes to stick to a tacky surface or a textured surface. So if we were going to go in and put the rest of our gel over the top of this to build up the structure, it would need that tacky surface. Now, if we were to take our air dry polish and polish over this, that tacky surface is just going to smudge with our polish. So for this design that I'm doing here, we want to take off that tacky surface. So I'm going to use a little bit of my swipe. So that same product that we used to cleanse the nails earlier, I'm going to take a little bit of that onto a lint-free wipe. And I'm going to give it just a quick swipe. So just really quick. I'm not going to worry too much if I removed all of that, that tacky surface, because if a little bit's on there, it's going to be fine. But we don't need to worry about taking all of that off. Okay, so I'm going to get my polishes ready, and we are going to encapsulate this design. So we're going to create this design actually in the nail, And looks like a lot of you are subscribing. You guys, thank you so much for all of those subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry, you guys, I can't shout out all of you, but those of you that have subscribed, thank you so much. Those of you that have returned, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys all so much. So thank you for being with us here. So we're gonna start, and I've got this is an old art brush, you guys. This is one of our old art brushes that for me, I've kind of used and abused it. It's a little bit frayed out and I can't quite get it back to its original shape, but this actually works perfect for this design. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my polishes, and I've got those opened up. And when you're working with these polishes, because they do dry so fast, you have to work kind of quickly. So have all of your polishes open and ready to go. And I'm actually going to grab another lint-free wipe, and I'm going to put a little bit of polish remover on this. So I'm going to grab my onto the next polish remover, and I'm going to pump a little bit of that onto that lint-free wipe. So this way, as I'm working, if I need to clean out my brush, I can just kind of give it a little swipe right on that lint-free wipe. So again, having all of these things ready to go is going to help make your life a little bit easier when you're doing this design. So I'm going to take a little bit of that first color, and I think this one was Freelance Snack, and we're going to just bring that right up to the cuticle area. I'm going to kind of swipe that through, and wherever you want your color, just give it a little dab on there. We're going to take our next color. This one was Me Unicorn. Again, swipe that through anywhere you need to. Now this one, I may have gotten a little pink on there, so I'm going to just wipe that off. Yeah, you can see there was a little pink on there. So I'm going to wipe that off. I think maybe we'll take just a little bit more of that right in through here and maybe right up top there. Again, wipe that off. Here's where my brush is going to come in. I'm going to use that brush and just start to kind of feather those together, marble those together, dab those together, whatever you want to call it. Bring those two colors together. And again, you guys, because this polish does dry pretty quickly, you do kind of have to work a little on the quicker side. Now, don't worry if this is not the perfect blend, it's not a perfect ombre. You guys, this design is really just about blending colors and ombreing kind of those colors together. Bring them together and just have fun with it, okay? So I might also grab, this is our micro detailer brush. I'm going to grab the micro detailer brush, and if I need to maybe get a little bit more color right up in that top corner, I'm going to take my bottle here, take a little bit onto my micro detailer, and just touch up those edges just a little bit, kind of blending in. Or if you need to kind of tap any color anywhere, maybe a little bit more of, whoops, sorry guys. There we go. Maybe grab a little bit more of that pink and just kind of dabbing that wherever I need to. Okay, and again, that's the reason that I have this little lint-free wipe with a little bit of polish remover on there, so I can clean out my brushes. Because this is an air dry polish, that polish will start to dry in your brush. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your brush clean as you go. Now, I know we only had 2 colors on there. We're going to add our third one, but I kind of like to let this base layer dry a little bit before I add my brighter accent color, because I didn't want the green to blend in too much with the pink. Otherwise, it's going to look a little bit more brown. So I'm going to take a little bit of that green and just kind of right in between where those colors come together, if I need to clean that out. Same thing, I'm going to grab that frayed out brush and just kind of tap through that, almost creating some texture, creating a little bit of movement in there. And we'll tap a little bit up in there. All right, I think I am liking that. So now at this point, you guys, again, these are air dry polishes, so I don't have to cure these in the light. I don't have to worry about anything there. But I do want to make sure that they are dry before I go on to my next layer. If you apply your next layer of gel and your polishes are still wet, it's going to smudge and it's going to smear and it's not going to adhere properly. So you do have to make sure that they are dry. Now, most of the color on here, kind of that pink and the blue sections, those are all dry already. So you guys can really see how fast these colors do dry. I'm going to give that green just a little bit longer to dry. Actually, I'm feeling that. And that you guys can see I don't have any polish on my skin. That is pretty close to dry, but I'm going to give it just a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and encase this. Now, you guys, I know on my nails I have a ton of glitter on there and a lot of sparkle. I'm not adding the glitter just yet, okay? But I am going to show you what colors we're going to use. We're going to give this a little bit longer to dry, and then I'll show you how to apply the glitters. But the glitters that I am going to use today are two different ones. So the two ones that I used on myself, one of them is my favorite, but you guys, unfortunately, this one has been discontinued. I'm still going to show it to you, but I'm going to show you another option that you could use as well. But this one is called Mood Ring. And yes, I did use this on myself, but I wasn't planning on showing you guys this design. But since you all requested it, I'm going to show you. But again, this one is discontinued, but this one is Mood Ring. And if you want to substitute another glitter for it, my next suggestion would be to use Little Guy. I like it's kind of the same colors in there. It's just a little bit of a finer glitter to it. So you can definitely use this one, or you guys choose your own colors of glitter. Whatever you like, you can definitely put in there. And then you can also see I've got a little bit of kind of a chunkier glitter on those. So the larger one that I've got here is this one right here. And it looks a lot more blue in the container, but it really does reflect a little bit more purple, or depending on what color you have underneath, it's going to kind of reflect other colors and pick up different colors. So it's a really fun glitter. This one is called Empty Apartment. And I absolutely love them. They are so pretty. So I am going to use the one that I actually used on myself, but again, you could substitute Little Guy if you don't already have Mood Ring. And these ones are both available on our website as well. So again, everything that I'm using here today is available on our website, except that one, except that one glitter, but everything else is available for you guys. All right, our polish is completely dry. We are good to go. It's not smudging, it's not denting or anything. It's not getting on my skin. So that's going to show me that our product is ready to go on to our next step. And our next step is going to be to seal that polish in. And we're going to use base gel. Now, I know that our base gel was what we used to start our nail, but this can also be used if you're layering in dimensional designs like this. So we're going to grab that little tile again, clean out my brush. I'm going to take a little bit more of that base. Oh, you guys, I forgot. Hold on a second. I do want to open up my glitters here and have those ready to go, because we are going to apply our glitter into our wet layer of gel. So I'm going to grab those two glitters here. And we've got those handy. I've also got my art brush that I was using before. So now we'll take a little bit of that base gel, and I'm going to use a thin layer of this. I'm not trying to build up thickness. All I'm trying to do is basically encase that product. So encase those colors and just kind of seal those in and give us just enough of a layer to add our glitters into, okay? So we're going to take our brush, and I'm going to start with my smaller, my finer glitter. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't get glitter in there. I'm going to tap into that glitter, and then you can just tap wherever you want that glitter and that sparkle. And I kind of pick a few little areas here and there, adding a little bit of glitter. Again, wherever you guys feel you want to add that. And I think maybe just a little more there. Once I have that, I'm going to clean out my brush here, and we'll take a few of those larger pieces. And again, wherever you feel like you want a little bit of that color, so you can see, and maybe you can't quite see on camera, but hopefully you can. When I put that glitter over the pink, you see a little bit more blue popping out, and a little bit kind of even more purpley popping out. But then when I actually do put it over the blue, it's really blue. So again, just depending on what color you put the glitters over, it's going to give a different look depending on that color. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more of that finer glitter right down in here, and then maybe just a little bit more right up in there. Okay, I think I like how that's looking. So we're going to get this back into the light one more time. We're going to freeze that into place. Just maybe another 30 seconds or so. And then after that's cured, then we will add in a little bit more product so that we can build up the structure of the nail. And somebody says, I don't like the green. That's okay, you don't have to use green. I like it because I feel like that green gives the nails just a little bit of an accent and it kind of brightens it up a little bit. So you can use the green, you don't have to use green. You guys, we've got a whole bunch of brand new polishes on our website. So if you like these colors, you can grab them. If you want to choose different colors, you are welcome to do this design with whatever color floats your boat. So absolutely. So at this point, our nail is cured out, and now those gel or those glitters are cured into that gel, so they're not going to move. But I'm going to put one more coat of our base on there, and what this is going to do is it's going to seal that glitter in. So when we do go to build up the rest of the structure of our nail, I'm going to build the structure with a little bit of a thicker gel, and we're going to build structure, but by putting this layer of our base on here, this is going to allow the rest of my product to just flow, okay? So I'm going to show you guys here real quick. The next one we're going to use is Build Pink. Now, could you use the clear Sculptor that we started with? Yes, absolutely. You could start with the, you could finish the nail with the clear Sculptor. Personally, I like the Build Pink because it has, I'm going to show you guys this here real quick. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this out onto my tile, and I'm not sure if you'll even really be able to see it, but this has just a tiny little hint of pink. And I guess on camera it kind of looks a little bit more clear, but it has just a hint of pink. And what that hint of pink is going to do is it's going to really just brighten up those colors, and it's going to brighten up the glitters. So that's why I like to use the Build Pink. Again, you could use the clear Sculptor if you want to, your choice, personal preference. All right, so our nail did cure for about 30 seconds in the light. So I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of that Build Pink right up by my cuticle. I'm going to stop squeezing my product, and then I'm going to use that nozzle to just guide that product down the length of the nail. And you can see I'm kind of working in a side-to-side motion, and then if I feel like I need a little more product, I'll squeeze a little more out, again working from side to side. Now I do have the nail pointed downward. You can see it's angled downward, so that way my product is not going to run down the sides and it's not going to run back into my cuticle. It's going to just encapsulate that whole nail nice and easily. Now if I do feel like I need to, I can come back in with my brush. I can use my brush to tuck up around that cuticle area, make sure my product comes all the way down to the sides without it running. I can readjust or move that product anywhere I need to make sure that I've got product where I need it, okay? Once you've got your product where you need it, you're going to get that back into the light. Now this time I am going to freeze that for just a few seconds, and then I'm going to check it because I want to make sure that I've got enough structure on there. So just a few seconds, and then I'm going to take a look. So if we take a look at this nail, if we look at that from the side, you can see the nail dips down just a little bit right through here. So I'm going to add just a little bit more product right through that area to make sure that I've got the proper structure. So we're going to just draw a line right down that area, and then you could use the nozzle or you can use the brush to just feather that out and make sure that you've got that low spot filled in. I think we're good there. So this is going to go back into that light, and this is going to cure for a full 60 seconds. Now you guys, I'm going to tell you, I was sneaky and I did a nail before so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me file this nail. If you need to see filing techniques, make sure to subscribe to our channel here. We've got a ton of videos for you guys to learn how to file, but we're not done yet. Don't worry, we're not done yet. I am going to swap out this nail and we're going to finish this one, but do you guys want to see one more bonus design? Let me know in the chat. Do you want to see a bonus nail, or do you just want to see me finish this one up? Let me know in the chat. So just put in the chat bonus nail or finish the nail. Let me know. All right, so this nail did fully cure out. And when it does fully cure, it is going to have a tacky finish to it, kind of like we were talking about earlier. So I'm going to go back to my swipe, and I'm going to grab a little bit more of my swipe onto a lint-free wipe, and we're going to cleanse the nail. All right, bonus. A couple of people are saying finish. Let's see, bonus nail, bonus nail, bonus. All right, you guys, I think we've got time for a bonus nail. So again, I'm going to swap this one out after a while, and I'll show you the final look on this. But let's go ahead and do another one. So our bonus nail today is going to be the style that I've got on my second nail, and so you guys can kind of see I've got the same colors and everything on our practice hand, but this nail is just going to be. That's going to be a glitter. Oh, you guys, my moderators are telling me I can't do a bonus nail for you guys. I have to finish up the one that we started. All right. Okay. I'll finish this next one here. I'll finish this first one. We'll hold the bonus nail maybe for another day. We'll see. Okay. Sorry, guys. So let's go ahead and finish this one. So this one is filed out. And again, I'm going to use my swipe to cleanse that. And then, whoops, let me grab my brush here. All right, so again, we're going to take a little bit of our swipe on our manicure brush. And, oh, you guys, I know you want to see. Moderators, what do we need to do to let them see the new the other nail? What do we need to do? Do we need to have more subscribers? Guys, if we have more subscribers, maybe the moderators will let me do another nail. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. All right, so while I'm finishing this one, we're going to be using our protein bond, and we're going to do one more coat of that protein bond, and that is going to really help to adhere our top coat. So again, this is going to go on the whole nail, and you're going to start to see those colors really start to pop through. This is another reason that I like to do that coat of the protein bond, because it really helps to create a crystal clear look on the nail. So we've got that, and then, oh, our moderators say we need more hearts in the chat. All right, you guys, pop some more hearts in the chat, and then maybe our moderators will let me do one more nail. All right, lots of hearts in there, lots of hearts. What if we buy the moderators, mom and a sister, a sandwich? I don't know, maybe a sandwich. Oh, you guys, my stomach just growled thinking of a sandwich. All right, you guys, I'm going to finish this nail with our ManiQ Top Coat. So you guys, if you know the top coat chant, let's go ahead and start the top coat chant in the chat too. So if you don't know the top coat chant, just make sure to subscribe first, and then just type in top coat, top coat, top coat, and we'll apply our top coat. All right, you guys, I'm seeing lots of hearts, so we might be able to do a bonus. Stick with me here, though. Okay, again, I've got our ManiQ Top Coat. A lot of times you see me use our Ultimate Finish Top Coat. On this nail, I'm going to use our ManiQ Top Coat just because it's a really nice thin top coat, and I love the absolute high shine of this one. So just a personal preference for today. I'm going to pop this one into the light, and we're going to cure that out for 60 seconds. All right, moderators, what do you think? Do they deserve a bonus nail? Should we do a bonus nail? I think we should. I really think we should. Let's see. You guys, I think I'm going to go for it. It's just going to be a really quick one. It's really quick. It's not going to be too long. It's not going to take quite as long as this first one did. It's going to be a little bit easier. But we are going to, let me grab another nail here. Oh, I thought I had some ready. So I'm going to grab one more nail here. I'm going to just prep this nail to put onto our trainer hand. And for that, I lost my toenail clippers here. For that one, I like to just clip off that cuticle area. You can use the nails with the cuticle area on them, but I like to clip that off. I feel like it's just a little bit easier. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to do a bonus because I want to show you guys this. I want to be able to show you guys the whole set that I have on. So we're going to do the bonus for you. I know, moderators, I know you probably have things that you need to do today, but you guys, I'm looking out for your best interest out there, you guys. So again, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And you guys also, if you need more education on gels, if you're looking for more training, if you're either a newbie to nails, if you're an advanced to nails, if you are not even a nail tech, if you are somebody who is just an enthusiast or a DIYer, we have classes on our website. You guys, if you are looking for education, we have a great gel class coming up, and that's exactly what we're working with here today is gel. So make sure to check out our website so you can find that class. It is open to anyone and everyone. If you have internet access and access to Zoom, you can take this class. So check out that on our website and grab that information. So to finish this first nail, I just used our ManiQ Top Coat. And that does have a tacky finish, so I'm using our ManiQ Cleanser to cleanse off that tacky finish. And that nail is ready to go. So absolutely beautiful, super fun. So let's do our second nail. And I lost my toenail clippers again, you guys. Oh, I've got too many fun things on my table that I'm working with here. All right, you guys, bonus nails. Our moderators finally got on board with this. Thank you, moderators. All right, so we're gonna do the same prep as we did before, and we're gonna start our application pretty much the same as before, okay? So again, shaping up that free edge a little bit. We're gonna grab our magic wand. We are gonna push back those cuticles. Again, same thing as we did on our first nail. So our prep is gonna be the same exact steps. We're gonna grab our electric file. We're gonna use our medium sanding band. Run through that cuticle real quick, clean up that natural nail, remove that shine, just barely making contact. I'm not putting any pressure, but just making contact. My electric file was at about 5,000 RPMs. Oh, yes. Moderators, can you confirm, do you have to be over 18 for the classes? I think I must have forgot that, but I think that is probably true. So thank you for whoever mentioned that in the chat. I think you do have to be over 18. Okay, so we're gonna take a little bit more of that swipe. We're gonna cleanse this nail again. But again, you guys, I'm kind of going through our prep here, and I'm gonna go through our application a little bit quicker for this second time around. But again, if you're looking for more education on gels, we do have that class coming up on August 4th. So make sure to check out the website for that. All right, oh my gosh, new subscriber from all the way from Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us. My goodness, I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, you guys, we're gonna grab our form. I'm going to pop that form off. We're going to take that little tab out of the center, stick that on the back, pinch those two little tabs together nice and evenly, and pinch that end a little bit tighter at that point. We're going to get that form right up underneath our free edge. And you guys, like I said, I'm kind of going through this a little bit quicker than I did on our first nail, but if you need to see those steps again, you can always subscribe to our channel, watch this video again, because this will be reposted on our channel here. So you can see all of those extra details, or you can take the class. I know, you guys, I'm so excited that we have a gel class coming up. I think it's going to be an amazing class. I think you're going to love it. So make sure to check that out if you're interested in that. And we're going to do our 2 coats of protein bond, nice and evenly all the way through. New subscriber from Italy. Oh my gosh, I love it, you guys. Thank you so much. I love seeing all of these different subscribers. And you guys, I love being able to connect with so many of you from so many different countries and different areas. I think this is amazing that we're able to do this. So giving you guys all of this education, I absolutely love it. So thank you all for being here. All right, again, we're going to start with our clear Sculptor. Just like we did on our first nail here, we're going to build out that free edge. And again, I'm going to grab my little tile here, my little art palette. So we'll squeeze a little bit of that gel onto our form right in front of that natural nail, bringing that out from side to side, all the way out from side to side, making sure that stays connected to the nail. And then again, bringing that down the length of our form, right to where we want that point. I'm going to grab my brush. I'm going to clean out my brush here quick. And we're going to tuck that right up into those sidewalls, making sure everything is nice and thin, nice and even. I'm going to wipe out my brush. Using the edge of my brush, I'm going to drag that right back up so I've got a nice straight lower arch, straight sidewall there. Clean my brush out, come back to the other side, bring that straight back right up into those corners, making sure I get that all the way up into that corner. We're going to pop that back into our light. We're going to freeze that into place for another 30 seconds. And I am going to grab a bunch of glitters. So on this nail that I've got here, I just used whatever glitters I thought were going to look great. And so I've got a bunch of different kind of shapes and sizes. So let's start with, let me see. I think we used, I think I'm missing a color. No, I think we're good here. Okay, so I used on this glitter nail, I think I used Mood Ring, which again, that was discontinued, but you could substitute that one for, I did lose that glitter. For Little Guy, wherever I put that, I don't know where I put it. Oh well, that's okay. We're gonna make do without it. But then we've also got Empty Apartment, and actually you guys, I did not use Empty Apartment. I misspoke, sorry about that. But then I also used Search Mode and Emotional Standstill, and also we have Other Side. So those first three colors, those are all glitters. So just different shapes and sizes and colors of glitter. And then this last one is a Mylar. So this one is super, super fun. It adds a lot of texture to the nail, and I'll show you guys those in a second. Oh, here it is. And then Little Guy. That was the finer glitter that I used on this one. So those are the colors that we're working with here now. We've got our extension built out. I'm going to grab that base gel again. So that first gel that we used on that natural nail, we're going to start with a thin coat of that. So again, I clean my brush out here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that base. I'm going to brush that all the way through from cuticle to free edge. All the way through. Again, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that product and just kind of drizzle that right through that connection. So right between where that natural nail meets our extension. This is going to really help to seal that nail to our free edge. So that way we don't crack that nail off when we remove the form. Okay. Somebody's asking, how long does it stay in the nail stay in the light? For right now, I'm just keeping that in the light for about 30 seconds, and that's going to freeze the product into place. Once that is cured in there for 30 seconds, we're going to layer in a few other different layers of glitter, and that's going to continue to cure as we go from layer to layer. So at this point, I'm going to open up all my glitters, and that same brush that I was using earlier for my glitters, I'm going to grab that one. That's a little bit of that older brush that's kind of frayed out and I can't quite get back to a nice point. I'm going to use that for my glitter application. And I think that's been about 30 seconds in there. So at this point, we are going to remove our form. Just gently pinching that form together underneath. Remove that form. And one more time, I am going to trim off those edges. Anything that was hanging too low that I didn't want, I can just trim off those edges. And this is going to make it a little bit easier for me to file. Now you want to be careful when you are clipping that, because right now, if you take a look at this nail from the side, we don't have a whole lot of product holding that and connecting that to the natural nail. So you want to make sure that you're not putting pressure on that free edge or anything that's going to crack that free edge off. Okay. All right. Somebody's asking, is this poly gel or acrylic? You guys, this is gel that we're working with today. And I absolutely love doing my dimensional nails with gel because I feel like you get a really super glossy look. You get a lot of depth to that nail. So it's my personal preference, but you can definitely still do these designs with acrylic as well. Just a little bit of a different application technique. Okay, Now, we've got our base on there, but I am going to grab one more coat of my base, and we're going to apply all of these glitters right into that coat of base. So we're still going to apply just a nice thin layer. I'm not using a lot of pressure, but I'm not really floating the product on. I'm going to say it's probably, you're going to probably use about as much pressure as you would with just polishing a nail with regular polish. And then I'm going to set my Mylars off to the side because I'm going to use those in a different layer. But I'm going to get all of my other glitters here. We'll start with our little bit finer glitter. And again, you guys, you can use whatever colors of glitters you want to do this application. I just like to have, this is kind of my accent nail. And I like to have an accent nail that's going to have colors that really blend with my first nail. So you can use the same colors that were in that first nail. You can use other colors. You can use other iridescents. But again, on this one, I just have a ton of iridescent colors, and I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just really filling in space here a little bit. And I'm going to clean out my brush a little. Let's grab a little bit of those chunkier ones, set those down in there. And I think at this point, a lot of my, my gel already has glitter in it, so it's not really absorbing a whole lot more of this glitter. So I think at this point, we're going to freeze this back into place again, and then we'll add another layer of glitter. So when you're working with your glitters, I do tend to like to start with the finer glitters in more of that base layer. So kind of like these three here. And then I'll usually add those chunkier glitters towards the top layer. So this way I can see a little bit more of the size and the shape of these. So again, if you take a look at mine, you can see on the surface, you can see a little bit more of those larger pieces of glitter. You can see that glow in there. Somebody's asking, how long do these stay on? You guys, the nails that I have on right now is exactly what we're doing here. I've had these on, I think, for probably about 2 weeks now. Normally you would want to fill them about every 2 to 3 weeks. So you can continue to fill with the same glitters, you can change out the designs, but it's usually about every 2 to 3 weeks is when you want to maintain them. Now, our glitter is cured in there. It's set into that gel. I'm going to take another little bit of that base gel. Again, apply a nice thin, even layer. And then we'll add a little bit more of our glitters. And again, this time I'm going to pick up a little bit more of those chunkier glitters. So this one right here. And just setting those down into that wet gel. And you can put different pieces in different places. You can put that, that solid glitter over the whole nail, whatever works for you. Now I'm grabbing a little bit of that Mylar, so those really chunky pieces, and this is really just going to give this nail just a lot of glow. All right, I think I am liking how that is looking. I think maybe I want just a little bit more of that finer glitter right up around my edge, so it doesn't look like I need a fill just yet. So just kind of filling in that back area. Okay, we're going to freeze that into the light one more time. And now, you guys, I know that you probably saw there were a couple of little pieces of that, that Mylar, the one that I just closed up here, those chunkier pieces hanging off the edges. Don't worry about that, because anything that is hanging off the edges, that will file out if it isn't encapsulated. And that's our next step, is going to be to encapsulate this, because we don't want to just leave all of this glitter hanging out on the surface. So freeze that into place. And again, at this point, you could go right into either your clear Sculptor or your Build Pink, but I like to add one more coat of that, the base gel, just so that when I do my application of my builder gel, it's going to flow a little bit more. If I didn't put this extra layer of base down, when I do my Build Pink, it's probably gonna almost get stuck on these pieces of glitter. So I like to do that little extra layer of base gel, freeze that into place again one more time, up to 30 seconds or so, and then we'll go ahead and apply our Build Pink. Now again, you guys, I know I said this for the last nail, but you could use the clear Sculptor, but I do like the slightly pink tint to the Build Pink because I feel like it just brightens up those glitters a little bit more. And somebody's saying this is totally a trust the process moment. Yes, you guys, I understand. I know you're probably looking at this nail and you're thinking, whoo, look at that product. It is all over the place. It's a big chunky monkey. Things are poking up everywhere. And I get it. I hear you. But yes, this is a trust the process. So we're going to encapsulate this nail. We're going to file it out. And then you will see that it does turn out as a beautiful, sparkly, shiny, shimmery, gorgeous design. So again, I'm just using that Build Pink, squeezing out a little bit as I go, bringing that all the way through the nail. And again, I'm going to go back to my brush, use my brush, touch up these edges as needed, bring that product back up into my arch, and we're going to pop that back in the light one more time just to kind of freeze that into place. And then I am going to check this one more time. Now you guys, as that is in the light, I'm going to show you really quick. I do like to use one of our lint-free wipes to clean off the nozzle from time to time. So that way, if you do have any of that product on there, it's not going to create a mess anywhere. Okay. All right, so let's take one more look at this. If we look from the side, again, just like we had on our first one, we have a little bit of a low spot right through there. We're going to squeeze out just a little bit more of, whoops. All right, Build Pink, come on. So you guys, what I'm doing, we've got these little tube squeezers. I'm just bringing that down so that I can bring all of my gel, whoops, there we go, down towards the end of that tube. So we're going to squeeze just a little bit more of that product right in there. And again, kind of feathering that through, just filling in that low spot. And I think we are good. So at this point, this is when you would fully cure the nail for a full 60 seconds. But again, by the magic of the internet, you guys, I've got a nail to swap out. So I'm not going to worry too much about fully curing that all the way through. But I do want to give you guys one more chance to hit that subscribe button before we finish the nail up, and tell you one more time about our classes that we've got coming up. On August 4th, we've got a class just dedicated to gel. So gel techniques like I'm showing you here is what you would learn in that class on August 4th. So make sure to check out our website and get signed up for that class. It is available to anyone, whether you are licensed or not licensed as a nail tech. If you're just a DIYer, you can take the class as well. So make sure to check that out on our website, youngnails.com. All right, you guys, so I did take this one out a little bit before the full 60-second cure because I just want to be able to show you guys how to finish the nail. And I do have, like I said, we've got our little swap out here. So this one, when it does fully cure, it is still going to have that tacky surface on there. So you would want to make sure that you are using your swipe on a lint-free wipe and cleansing that nail. So give that a good cleanse, and then you would be ready to file and finish the nail. Now, again, if you guys need more information on filing, we've got a ton of videos here on our YouTube channel. We've got over 3,000 videos for you guys, and a ton of videos on how to file, how to electric file, how to hand file. So make sure to check those out if you need that information. But we're going to swap that out quick so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me file. I'm just going to dust off that nail. We've already filed through here. Everything is smoothed out. I'm going to cleanse it one more time, going back to that swipe. A little bit of swipe on my manicure brush. And you guys, one more time. Oh my gosh, look at that glow. Oh, I love it. One more time, you guys, make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and then we can go ahead and start that top coat chant in the chat. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to just type into the chat, top coat, top coat, top coat. Those of you that have been with us for a while, you know what to do. So let's go ahead and start the top coat chant. All right, so after cleansing, we're gonna do one more coat of protein bond. And again, you guys, when I put that protein bond on, you are really gonna see that glitter just pop. So even just that one right down the middle, look at that, you guys. I love it. Again, the protein bond is going to help to give it a really nice clear look to the nail, really increase that shine, and it's going to also hold our top coat on really, really well. So again, I'm going to work with my ManiQ Top Coat just because that's what I have nice and handy for today. ManiQ Top Coat is our soft gel top coat, so it is part of our ManiQ gel polish collection. But you can definitely use this over acrylics, over hard gels, or over your gel manicures. And this one is going to cure for a full 60 seconds in the light. And this one I am actually going to allow that to cure for the full 60 seconds because with this one I do want to show you when that does come out of the light, it does have that tacky surface that you want to make sure you're cleansing off. So because we're working with a soft gel top coat, if we were to use our swipe to cleanse the nail, let me come back out here. If we were to use our swipe to cleanse that nail, swipe does have a little bit of acetone to it. So the acetone can actually start to kind of break down the surface, or if you use too much of it, it could actually not give you as high shine of a finish. So that's why we're going to use ManiQ Cleanser instead. ManiQ Cleanser is an alcohol-based cleanser rather than the acetone-based cleanser. And so this one is going to cleanse off that tacky surface, but it's not going to do anything to that high shine. It's going to give you a really nice high shine at the end. Okay. Now, one other thing I'm not actually going to apply onto our trainer hand. She doesn't have actual cuticles. She doesn't have dry skin that's going to absorb oil, but always make sure that you finish your services, whether it's on yourself or whether it's on your clients. Always finish your services with cuticle oil, and that is what I'm going to put onto my cuticles. You guys, a lot of times you all give me a hard time because my cuticles get so dry, but when you're doing nails and you're working with nail products or you're working with dust and things like that, and especially if you're a salon tech and you are washing your hands before and after every client, your cuticles will get dry, but this cuticle oil is going to be amazing to help refresh those cuticles, keep everything hydrated, and it's also something that you want to be using in between your services, whether you're, again, wearing nails or doing nails. It's going to help keep those cuticles hydrated, and it's going to keep those enhancements nice and flexible. So always make sure to be using your cuticle oil. We're going to use that little bit of ManiQ Cleanser, cleanse off that tacky finish, and we've got both of our beautiful nails. And one other note, the color that I have on the other nails and the color that I have on my other nails here, that one is Ballerino. Again, this is from our ManiQ collection. So if you're wondering what color I have as my accent, that's what I've got. And those are our beautiful, sparkly, shiny, gorgeous nails to match the ones that I've got on. So you guys, one more time, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you're needing more education on gels and gel nails, gel enhancements, check out our website, youngnails.com. We've got a great class coming up on August 4th. It is open to licensed nail techs. It's open to enthusiasts. So definitely, if you're interested in more gel education, make sure to check out our website, youngnails.com. I hope that you all enjoyed our live stream today. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to set your notifications. We usually go live about 3 times a week here on YouTube, so make sure you join us for our next session. And hopefully you enjoyed our class today. We'll see you guys back next time. Thanks, everyone.